It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. The Port of Newcastle is pouring cold water on a proposal to move the Carrington coal terminal to make way for tourism. The idea is contained in a planning department draft plan for Greater Newcastle, which would most likely see coal export facilities concentrated at Kooragang. While local residents and green groups are welcoming the idea, Port Waratah Coal Services says it still has a lease on the Carrington site until 2024. A spokesperson from the Port of Newcastle has told the Herald the section in the draft plan which refers to moving the coal terminal is a mistake, and they'll write to the planning department to have it corrected in the final plan. Police say they found drugs and thousands of dollars in cash in a car they pulled over at Jesmond. Georgie Wells from Police Headquarters says officers were conducting speed checks when they made the discovery.
They stopped a blue Holden Commodore utility transporting a quad bike. The driver, a 24-year-old man from Mount Druitt, returned a negative result to a roadside breath test. Police searched the vehicle and allegedly seized more than $13,000 in cash, as well as items believed to be illicit drugs. The quad bike was also seized by police.
The man's been charged with goods in custody and is due to face court on March 22. Dolphin Watch tour operators at Port Stephens say they're worried after packs of sharks moved in to feed on thousands of kingfish which escaped from a Hawk's Nest fish pen last month. Local fishermen say they've never seen anything like it, as the sharks use their boats for cover before smashing through giant schools of kingfish. However, the presence of the sharks has frightened off the dolphin population, with cruise operators unable to locate any of the aquatic mammals in their usual spots. Federal member for the Hunter, Joel Fitzgibbon, has taken aim at both the state and federal governments for ignoring key infrastructure projects in the region. The new Rapid Build Correctional Centre at Cessnock came under fire from the MP for the lack of social and physical investment to support the growth expected from the centre. Joel Fitzgibbon says the government must commit further funding in order to ease congestion problems associated with the centre.
The reality is that the key road infrastructure projects in the Hunter region have just dried up. Funding for them has just dried up over the course of the last 5 years. Cessnock desperately needs some assistance in dealing with the impacts of the Hunter Expressway and the establishment of that huge jail extension in the city.
After bushfire ripped through the Richmond Vale Railway Museum and left a $1 million damage bill, the historic site is set to be reopened. The public reopening will be on Sunday, following a 50th anniversary celebration for museum veterans on Saturday, and follows 5 months of tireless repair efforts. Museum Chairman Peter Meadows says the Rebuilding Ritchie effort wouldn't have been possible without community fundraising and help from local businesses.
Well, companies like Kennards have lent us large amounts of equipment at no charge whatsoever, just so we could work on the track, we could work on the buildings, we could get things up and going. So ARTC and John Hollands gave us 1,000 concrete sleepers, and then the Swatelsky Rail came along and offered to relay the track for us.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
The Newcastle Jets are preparing for their blockbuster top-of-the-table contest against Sydney FC this Saturday at Hunter Stadium, and midfielder Riley McGree believes the team isn't intimidated by the challenge. In their last clash, the Jets came closer to taking out the defending champions than any other team for most of the season, with Sydney escaping with a late 2-2 draw. McGree says they're looking to go one better this time around.
I don't think it's very daunting at all. We're pretty keen to go in and get a result and play our style of football, attacking and create chances. So we'll put in a good week on the training ground and see what happens on the weekend.
Knights forward Jamie Buhrer has admitted Saturday's trial against Parramatta didn't come close to the performance they'd hoped for. Buhrer says the squad didn't stick to the game plan and showed extremely poor discipline. And Dungog Speedway driver Brendan Wakeman has thanked the safety equipment in his car after walking away unharmed from a nasty crash in Tamworth last weekend. That's sport. I'm Tynan Salamone.
And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 33, 2, 29, 31, 16, 39 and 25. And the supplementaries are 42 and 36. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.